Speaking of Adrian Adonis, why was there never a feud with you and Adrian after WrestleMania 3, or was there and it was just on house shows?
No, he quit. That's another story in itself. They had him teamed up with Dirty Dick Murdoch. You know who he is, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know him.
From Texas. And, Murdoch, the Funks and everybody, had that Texas mentality and everything. And like, he didn't like Hogan. He didn't like the bodybuilder type. And since I was teamed with Hogan for a while, breaking in and everything, trying to get established, he didn't like me either. And we wound up, we were in Japan together and stuff. And I had Adrian was at Hulk's wedding in California, brought his wife for one time in my life that I actually met his wife. They were together, and that's the only time that I ever saw her in my life. And Murdoch had a way, he would get in Adrian's head, and he had convinced Adrian that I was trying to take his wife away and things. And he came to me one day and said all this crazy shit. Like he knew I was after his wife and I better stay away. He was going to kill me. And all. I said, Adrian, if you marched your wife through that door right now, I wouldn't know it was her. Okay. So I don't know what in the world Dick Murdoch has put in your head, but you need to forget about it. Let it go. Boom, boom, boom. We were almost in a fight right there, but it just didn't happen, and walked and went our separate ways and stuff. And then the WrestleMania thing, I really didn't know that was coming till within a month before. And they gave me no warning at all that they were going to put this barber gimmick on me at the WrestleMania. So I had no time to prepare, knew nothing about it. And so Adrian was still in this complete mindset that he hated me, that I was trying to ruin his life and take his wife and all this shit. And so after the WrestleMania thing, he quit. He just left. And honestly, I knew Adrian for a long time. We worked in Minneapolis, probably 81, 82, and Jesse was there. And, there was a lot of guys. And there wasn't any friction with us then, or any problem then. Then we were traveling in Japan. There wasn't any problems then. It's just when he got teamed up with Murdoch that all of a sudden, like maybe he had said something and Murdoch jumped on it. Because he didn't like me. He didn't like Hogan. He didn't like the bodybuilders. He didn't like Tony Atlas. He just didn't like it.
Didn't Tony Atlas says he was in the KKK or something? Did you ever hear that about Murdoch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's true?
I don't think it was true, but the way he talked, it was, we were on a tour in Japan, and it was a smaller tour, and we were hitting some northern towns in the mountains and stuff, and we were in Kumamoto, and because I'll never forget this, where it's one of the smaller towns, nothing to do, blah, blah. And the Akuza boys, the local guys, love wrestling. The sumo was their deal. They came to the matches, and our interpreter said, you no go with Mafia guys. No go with the Akuza guys. You guys don't go. So yeah, we said yeah. And then afterwards, they came and grabbed us, and then Murdoch tagged along. So they took us to some bar or restaurant, and they fed us, and we went to a bar. And I mean, just like to buy a drink over there was like $25 for a drink, real alcohol. I mean, beer was beer, but so, I mean, they're buying us food, they're buying us everything. We're sitting in the bar, and they keep bothering me. They keep saying beefcake. I mean, no, it wasn't beefcake. There was they called me Ed Leslie, Edo. Arm wrestle. So they always wanted to arm wrestle me. So I've got 3 little Japanese boys. I get down on a glass table, big, thick glass top, 3 little Japanese boys hanging on my arm, and I'm just holding my arm and laughing at them and slapping them in the head. And next thing you know, 2 of them fall off. So I'm really, putting the pressure on to hold him. The third guy goes through the glass table. Boom, explodes it. Put a cut all the way around my wrist, but didn't actually cut anything vital. I'm bleeding all over the place. So now at 1:00 in the morning, they got to take me to a hospital in Kumamoto, which it wasn't a big town, and try to get me sewn up. And it looked like Frankenstein stitches. It looked like somebody, like a veterinarian had stitched me up, not like a real doctor. And it wound up, now I'm getting in trouble now because I'm not supposed to be out with a Yakuza, and now I'm injured and I can't finish the tour. So they got to send me home. So boom, they send me home. Murdoch stooges us out that we're the Yakuza boys, and I get fired. But, one of those times when it did pay to be a friend of Hulk's, and, because he got me booked over there the first time in 1980, and I went for years and years. And he made the call, and not only did he get my job back, he got me a raise. So Murdoch, unbeknownst to it, had done me a favor by getting me fired, because I got to come back pretty quick and got a raise, made more money.
Murdoch was partners with Adonis at one point, right? That's why they were buddies.
Yes, he was, man. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to ever. I never really wrestled Adrian Bush one-on-one at all. I mean, he was a slob, brother. He could wrestle. I mean, the guy had no body. He looked like a top. Little skinny feet, big body, little head. But he could do a lot of amazing things, fly over the ropes and stuff. But he was a slob. He was always drunk. His food all over him. He smelled like a sewer. And he was always fucked up. He's always, he's snorting, he's pilling out, he's drinking all the time. And so I didn't want to get anywhere near the guy.
He smelled like crap too, right? Like he didn't wipe himself properly. I heard people say.
No hygienic qualities at all. And so, I mean, you stand next to him, you would be like, what the heck is that? And, you'd be like, oh my God, you'd be running for the hills.
Were you there for the Spivey thing?
For the what?
For when Dan Spivey beat him up?
No.
I
actually was not there that night. Tito was there, Junkyard Dog. We were good friends. We traveled, daily on the road together. And so I got the play-by-play. And Dan Spivey he's a boyfriend. He's a Tampa boy from here. I knew Dan. And when I heard about it, I was like, all right, Dan, because he always, Adrian picked on people that he thought he could get away with, and abuse them in the ring and do mean shit to them, and not taking care of a guy the way you're supposed to, and hurt guys, or not hurt them bad, but still tweaking your arm or tweaking your knee or doing some stupid shit. And when Adrian messed with Danny, and Danny says, don't do it again. And Adrian come back, did it again. Danny hit him one time in the ring. This is what I understand. Hit him one time, laid his cheekbone open. He was down, blood everywhere. They wound up having to finish up the match, and they stopped it, whatever they did. Dan went back to the dressing room. Here comes Adrian, bleeding like a stuck pig, and tries to leg dive Danny. So Danny comes with an uppercut. Boom! Hits him again in the face. Comes to the left. Boom! I think he hit him 3 times from what I heard. Adrian's face looked like he got hit with a baseball bat. Looked like a train went over his head when I saw him the 2 days later or whatever. I mean, it was unbelievable. And Danny just had those real brawler knuckles, bare knuckles, fists like he could punch concrete and not even care, not even feel it. And Adrian paid the price for all his bullshit on that day. And there was a lot of people thought that he deserved it. Some people, he didn't deserve that, blah, blah, blah. He did deserve it. He got what he deserved. I love Danny Spivey to this day. And I was high-fiving him. I said, good for you, brother.